You never believe what she puts in her food to have customers. Mame Esai stood behind her food stall in the bustling market of Asempa, stirring a pot of thin, watery soup. Her son, Kojo, sat beside her, his ribs pressing against his skin like the bones of a starving fish. "Ma, I'm hungry," Kojo whispered. Esai froze, her ladle trembling in her hand. The pot was almost empty, and there were no customers in sight. She dipped the ladle into the broth and filled a small bowl, pushing it toward him. "Eat this," she said, forcing a smile. Kojo took the bowl, but his eyes betrayed his disappointment. The soup was more water than flavor. Esai turned away, swallowing the lump in her throat. The other food vendors laughed and shouted, their stalls filled with customers. The smells of fried fish, roasted plantains, and spicy stews filled the air. But no one came to her stall. "Her food is tasteless," Kwame the fishmonger whispered to a customer. "Not worth a single coin." Esai clenched her fist. She had once been the most sought-after cook in the market. But after her husband died, her luck had vanished. Customers stopped coming, and no matter how hard she tried, her food seemed bland and forgettable. Desperation gnawed at her like hunger. She couldn't let Kojo starve. She couldn't let them both waste away. That night, Esai lay awake in her small hut, staring at the cracked roof. The sound of Kojo's soft breathing filled the silence. There had to be a way. And then, she remembered the stories, the whispers of a powerful priestess deep in the forest who could grant wealth and prosperity. It was foolish. Dangerous, even. But Esai had nothing left to lose. The forest swallowed Esai as she stepped off the beaten path, clutching a small bundle of offerings, palm oil, eggs, and white cloth. The air grew heavier, and the trees leaned closer, their twisted branches reaching for her. She pressed on, ignoring the fear clawing at her chest. At last, she reached the clearing. The shrine of Okomfo Ata stood before her, a crooked mud hut surrounded by skulls and charms. A red cloth rope marked the entrance, tied in intricate knots that seemed to pulse with life. "Who comes?" The voice was sharp and sudden. Esai turned to see a small, bent woman stepping out of the shadows. Her eyes were milky white, yet they seemed to see straight through Esai. I need help," Esai stammered. The priestess circled her slowly. "You seek wealth. Power." "No," Esai said. "Just enough to feed my son." The priestess's lips curled into a smile. "Spirits do not deal in small dreams." Esai swallowed. "I will pay any price." Okomfo Ata reached into the shrine and produced a small calabash, sealed with red clay and bound with cowries. It paused faintly, as if something inside was alive. "Bury this beneath your cooking pot," the priestess instructed. "Feed it drops of palm oil each night, and your store will never lack customers." I reached for it, but Okomfo Ata pulled her hand back. "Never open it," she warned. "No matter what you hear. No matter what you feel." I nodded. "But know this," the priestess added. "The spirits will demand a price." I's heart pounded. "What price?" "You will know when the time comes." The next morning, I buried the calabash beneath her cooking pot and poured palm oil over the soil. Hours passed, and doubt began to creep in. But then, a man stopped at her store. "Do you have fufu and groundnut soup?" he asked. I scrambled to serve him, her hands trembling. Before she knew it, more customers came, one after the other, until her food was gone. Over the following weeks, ESI's store became the most popular in the market. Customers swore her food tasted like nothing they had ever eaten. Vendors who once mocked her now envied her success. But whispers followed her rise. "She's using juju," Kwame the fishmonger said. "It's unnatural," added Adua the palm wine seller. I ignored the rumors, but the shadows began to creep into her life. Rats appeared at her store, their red eyes watching her. Black feathers fell into her pots. And at night, the whispers began. "Feed me, feed me." I poured more palm oil into the soil, but the voices only grew louder. One afternoon, a woman named Akujua collapsed after eating ESI's food. She died moments later. The market erupted. "She killed her," someone screamed. "Murderer!" I fled, leaving her pots and coins behind. That night, Kojo fell ill, his small body burning with fever. Desperate, I returned to the forest and begged Okomfo Ata for help. "The spirits demand a sacrifice," the priestess said. "What kind of sacrifice?" "A life." I refused, but Okomfo Ata's warning echoed in her ears. "They will take what is dearest to you." When Kojo's fever worsened, I knew she had to act. She carried him deep into the forest, falling to her knees before the spirits. "Take me," she begged. "Spare my son." The shadows surrounded her, and the last thing she saw was Kojo's face, peaceful and free of fever. The villagers found Kojo sleeping beneath the baobab tree and raised him as their own. But the ground where ESI's store once stood remained barren. Kojo grew up haunted by whispers and shadows. On his 16th birthday, the voices returned, calling his name. "Kojo! Kojo!" He ran to the forest and found Okomfo Ata waiting for him. "The death remains," she said. Kojo refused to give another life. Instead, He vowed to break the curse and face the spirits. But as he walked back to the village, the whispers followed him, growing louder. And in the darkness, the spirits waited. May God always protect us from wicked food vendors. Subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories like this and many more. Have a nice day.